Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Alright, let's just hop to it. We've got Grixis, Skelemental, Grixis Pyromancer, whatever you want to call it, Grixis midrange. Pretty typical fair deck stuff in Modern. We've got we got 6 1-mana discard spells, kind of the cornerstone of these types of decks. Grixis notably gets to play Kolaghan's commands. We've got 3K commands. Miser's Angrath, Rampage, and Abrade is various ways to deal with Stoneforge Mystic equipment. We got some Seasoned Pyromancer here, which is basically like a more fair version of Faithful Sitting, so provide a little bit of card selection in the mid game. It's also a sweet card to be unearthing back alongside Skelemental and Pyromancer. The blue splash is for these 8 cantrips as well as Snapcaster Mage, so got a variety of goodies here. Let's jump on in and see how it goes. Unlucky number. That's okay, Ryland. Thanks for sticking through. I appreciate it. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, I agree, Protec. It's extra bad. Yeah. I think my favorite part about the people complaining about Historic were the people that were comparing it to Hearthstone. And they were like, well, Hearthstone doesn't do this for the wild format. It's like, yeah, well, Hearthstone gives you actual, like, 0 support for the wild format. So, like, I'm really hoping that the fact that they are feeling the need to implement a premium price means that they're doing that so they can actually support the format. Okay, Command Bolt. So my opponent is very likely playing Grixis Shadow. Maybe I should have reworked. Yeah, I probably should have reworked the removal on this yesterday. I had something to do last night and I didn't put as much time into rethinking the person's deck list as I probably should have. We have 2 Fatal Pushes, and these are our only ways to take a Gurmag Angler off the table. I guess we can block with Pyromancer tokens, but that's still not that profitable. I'm going to bottom these, I think, so I'd like to find another threat other than the Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah, that's also true, Protec. What you get for your money in Hearthstone tends to be worse than what you get for your money in Arena. Especially if you have what you get for just free to playing in Arena is much more significant. Alright, grab a basic mountain here, bolt the Jace. Cast Serum Visions. Definitely bottoming a Delta. I think I'm bottoming the second copy of him. I think ideally I want just like a Young Pyromancer here. This can be like our last card, so we can just like play it as a 2/2 that draws 2, I think. Is what I'm looking for at the moment. Hey, Anaronk Gaming. Thank you for the 12 months of support. I appreciate you sticking around for an entire year. Welcome back. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Good clean 2-for-1 here. Make you discard. Kill your thing. I'm actually interested to see your thoughts on Chaos Ballet, because that's the one faction I haven't really dug into yet. Okay, they're already through 2 Street Wraiths, so hopefully... Perfect. So I can Inquisition here before I try and bolt this so I don't embarrass myself. To set a low bar, the Teamer Scape Shift deck yesterday was better than I was expecting it to be. Yep, definitely keeping that one. Yeah, we might have a shot. Their hand is not particularly great against us. Our removal does not line up well into their creatures, but that's a sweet draw. So I get to do this, and then this is going to eat a Fatal Push. But I get to make a token before that happens, so that's nice. Really? Okay, that's a little premature, but I guess I'll take it. Gotta head to work, so I want to share my resub before I left. Thanks for the half a year window head. I appreciate you keeping me around. Have a good day at work. I don't think Spell Pierce is very good here. I did get them. Thank you, MWLX. I appreciate it. Damnation and Liliana are great. Oh, we have Angrath Rampage to kill fish as well, technically, I guess. I was thinking about that one. What do I want to trim? I probably don't want to trim the cantrips in this deck, so I only have 20 lands. I wonder if it's just Skelemental. They have some amount of efficient removal. They have pretty big blockers. Their hand tends to get relatively empty. This is kind of like a Burst of Reach, though, against a deck that frequently hammers its health total low. This is Ceremonious Rejection and Rise Fall. I had someone complain in a YouTube comment yesterday that my thing on the side here takes up too much space on the screen, and they wanted the Moto window to be bigger so that way they could see the cards better. And just for people who aren't familiar with Magic Online, one of the variety of reasons why it's an awful piece of software is because the current size of the cards is effectively as big as they get. Like, you see how I can take this part and I can drag it bigger, and that just creates dead space here and here. So you can't actually make the cards bigger because this is as large as they actually get. Moto just has tons of dead space on either side. It's pretty good. Wouldn't be too surprised to lose the discard spell here. I guess we could theoretically lose the bolt. Our opponent's playing Grixis Shadow. Yep, so we'll fetch Shock, Serum Visions here on one. Or we'll do that. They took this away from us, so clearly they don't want us to do it. So, what you got? Plague Engineer, eh? I guess I just take that because it's a 2-for-1, right? Man, that card on Elemental is really dirty against us. It kills our Pyromancer tokens and it kills our Skelementals. It's pretty rude. These are my cards. Take what you will. They took my Bolt. That's interesting. They draw Jace. Bleed for our mana, chat. Hey, awesome, Helios. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I mean, a lot of the Death Shadow hands look like what my opponent capped, right? That's why I'm often unimpressed with it. Like, Death Shadow is very similar to Blue-Red Phoenix in that there's a lot of hands that it has where it just, like, sits there and spins its tires. Red source. Red source. Red source. Papi! This is a concession. I feel like after they conceded in the first game, this might be a concession Skelemental. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray! Do 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 do. Yeah, and this is that's honestly one of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to a new format, is because a lot of the fair decks that are actually playable in Modern, the fair deck mirror matches tend to be pretty anticlimactic. Like, playing a deck with like 6 to 8 discard spells against another deck with 6 to 8 discard spells, there aren't really a lot of engaging decisions. There's just like, you know, hoping you draw well because your hand is empty because all of your meaningful cards are taken away. I think cards like Inquisition and Thoughtseize are pretty terrible game design. In my opinion, cards like this that take meaningful choices away from players are things that you should avoid in general. I think a big part of the reason why discard spells get kind of a free pass in Modern is because the things that the discard spells are keeping in check are just so much more offensive than the discard spells themselves. Yeah, I agree, Pelly. Completely agree. I'm gonna just take the Aether Vial here. Their deck's probably a lot worse when it's less tricky. To be fair, Burgle, I think Force of Will is slightly less offensive than Thoughtseize, but only by a small margin. Hymn to Torak is not Modern. I think I just take the Stoneforge Mystic here. This Feast and Famine's going to be a little worrisome, though. Yeah, I agree, Burgle. Magic's an incredibly interesting game where the better player always wins. In case you were unaware. In case you were unaware. Incredibly interesting, low variance, high skill. What am I even doing here? Am I supposed to wait to fetch this? No, I don't think so, Punchworthy. I think it just shouldn't be a card that exists. I think I'm snapping Inquisition. The reason I fetched her is I'm pretty sure I want to snap Inquisition and take their Feast and Famine away. I think that's what I want to do. Angrath. Thanks for the biddies, I appreciate it. Dubs, Flicker Wisp, Wasteland Strangler. I'm gonna take the Strangler because it kills my stuff. I mean, can I really beat them down through this germ? Like that's not a real plan, right? And I can't, so you don't want to push the germ, chat, because Flicker Wisp blinks any permanent. So if I push this germ, they're going to cast Flicker Wisp and blink the Batterskull. I end up going basically nowhere. Not to mention Batterskull can just blink itself. That is also a relevant point. So pushing or double blocking doesn't really accomplish a whole lot here. I'm probably going to chump block the Snapcaster Mage here. Yeah, Flicker Wisp is sorcery speed. Oh, so you're saying push it at end of turn? Sure, I could push it at end of turn, potentially. Yep. I need to figure out if I want to work on Blue-Red Delver for Saturday, or if I want to work on... If I want to work on Blue-Red Delver, or if I want to work on Vanifear Pod. Batterskull is good against us because we haven't drawn any spells. You know, chat wants you to lose with Vanifear Pod. Alright, Burgle. You're moderately objective. Which of my crappy pet decks is less bad? Riddle me this. You think Delver's less bad? Yeah, I think so. I think so too. Alright, so I have an Abrade. I have a Damnation. Fabulous secret powers were revealed to me when I subbed to Jeff for 12 months. With great power comes great responsibility, Boshek. Go forth and defend the realm. No, there's, Saturday is the Modern Format Championship on Magic Online. I think I'm just bringing in an Abrade and a Damnation here. I don't think I want Rise-Fall. Am I off the love for Jeskai Tempo? I just don't know if Stoneforge Mystic is good in that deck or not. That deck's probably better against Burn than Blue-Red, so maybe I should do that. I don't know that I want to stream it because letting people know with certainty what deck I'm playing in a Modern tournament, even on a 10-minute delay, is a pretty big disadvantage. This hand This hand has a plan at least. I don't know that it's a good plan, but it's at least, the plan at least exists. I should have played the Scalding Tarn there, because Scalding Tarn, I was getting a mountain, and Scalding Tarn can't get a swamp, and this can get a swamp. Now if they pass with mana up, my Skelementals will never connect again, because this just blinks them out of existence. Deal. I don't have any cards in my hand for Pyromancer to trigger with, so I'm just going to offer this trade. Their deck's pretty greedy. It's basically 4-color. Green, white, black, and colorless. If they pass with this activated ability up, I'm just going to go ahead and play Seasoned Pyromancer. What we see that was actually black? They have Tidehollow Sculler. At the very least. Wasteland. We did see Wasteland Strangler. That's true. Forgot about that one. Fatal Push would have been great here. Unfortunately, we did not get one. The good news is this takes the last 2 cards out of their hand and puts them to 1, which turns off their Horizon Canopy. It's like triple Blightning you. What if I Blightning you for a 3rd time? So if they equip this sword here, I just get to like. So here's a question. I think I'm supposed to, like, I know they're at 1. But I think I'm supposed to flash in Snapcaster Mage and Chump Block here. Like, I could like, hope this is a blank, take the hit, and then, like, kill them with a Snap. But, like, in the event that this is a card that kills Snap or blocks, like, I get pretty far behind at that point. Super unfortunate that I had to burn my fetch there. It's pretty good, though. Oh, I guess it didn't matter, right? The protection from black? It's pro-black anyways. Yep. Red tokens, though. Red tokens pretty good. Looks pretty dead to me. Looks like a duck and quacks like a duck. Pretty happy with how he sideboarded. I think the takeaway for these matches so far is the black and red cards are doing cool. I mean, it's a black-red deck, right? Like, there's a very, very small splash. It is. One thing that's a little bit weird to me is that because part of our splash is for these blue cantrips in this deck, it puts a lot of pressure on the mana base to have blue early, even though it's mostly a splash color, which is kind of awkward. Generally when you have like a third small splash, you want them to be cards that you're playing a little bit later in the game, so it's like not a big deal if you don't have your third color right away. Hey, morning Brando. Thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, I kind of feel like that, Burgle. Like, splashing for Snap is, like, kind of okay. Splashing for cantrips hurts. It makes the mana pretty painful. My question would be, though, like, if you're not playing the cantrips, too, like, at that point, it's probably not worth it to be playing blue just for cantrips, right? No, their hand doesn't do a whole lot once I take that card out of it. Yeah, it's not like we're splashing for Ponder and Brainstorm, right? Like, these cards are kind of bad. While they played a land, that means they can't play Flicker Wisp next turn, so deal. Speaking of bad mana, the opponent's mana has been exceptionally poor in these games. Their deck is pretty greedy. Bottom that. I'm going to top this because it's going to guaranteed take something. In fact, we'll just opt now and grab it. Yeah, Mosswort, you may play an exiled card if you have 10 power or greater. Like, if you have 10 power or greater, you're probably in a good spot. Man, that's a good draw. Okay. I feel like Mosswort Bridge is probably bad in their deck because... what's the word that I'm searching for? It is an effect where if you have that much power in play, you should probably be winning the game anyways. It's like what it comes down to. Yeah, win more card. Apt descriptor. You can technically flicker Mosswort Bridge. You're not wrong. It is a legal play. All right, in. So I think because I drew this, I'm going to go ahead and discard shock this, because taking this out of play while they have Flicker Wisp in their hand is valuable. And then I think I want to just Fatal Push this. Is that crazy? So Fatal Pushing this forces them to play the Battle Scroll next turn if they draw a 5th land. And then, if I draw a land next turn, I can go play the land, Seasoned Pyromancer, Abrade your Battle Scroll, draw 2. Sure. Morning Phaser. It's a little awkward. I wonder if they have Knight of the Reliquary in their deck full of medium cards. Like, in their deck full of, like, medium, like, 2 and 3 mana creatures, like, there's probably a what's it called hiding in there somewhere, right? Like, all these, like, this utility land and this utility land. Selesnya Sanctuary. Yeah. Yeah. That's a card. Listen, opponent is just doing what everyone should be doing in Modern, which is following their heart, okay? That's all they're doing. They're doing what they love, chat. They're casting the cards they enjoy casting. Don't you judge them. So as someone who registered, as someone who's probably going to register Delver of Secrets on Saturday, there's no room for judgment here. I think Magic's an incredibly high variance game, and Modern's an incredibly high variance format inside of that. So you should find a deck you love playing and play the crap out of it. Alright, so let's snap Abrade. This Storko. I guess I can... They don't have colorless mana yet? Yeah, I'm actually going to snap K Command here. That's fair. Let's let some drop. I was thinking I was going to get their Flicker Wisp, but I guess that's not true. Discarded a land. Maybe that's wrong. If they draw a colorless land, like if they draw like an Eldrazi Temple here, I'll be in trouble. Am I gonna play this Flicker Wisp out yet? I feel like they should. Yep. Hey, Jimmy the Kudos. Thanks for the 10 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Huh? Well, I guess this is basically just a 1-mana Pyromancer, right? Vomit. I mean, we're kind of racing them, right? Kinda. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Oh, do 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 do. I would love to put that one on top. Look at how quickly the tides have turned. Yeah, they can't currently activate Displacer. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all I got. Seasoned Pyromancer's like such a good card. It's like a lower variance Bedlam Reveler is the best way to put it. It's not doesn't quite have the closing power. It doesn't draw quite as much. But the fact that it doesn't make you discard your whole hand, you get a little bit more control over it, is very elegant. Hey, Timor. Thanks for re-upping for the second month in a row. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, it doesn't care about Rest in Peace is a big deal, too. Less of a big deal now that Faithless Looting's banned, but in general, that does matter. Look at that. We were crap talking Serum Visions, and Serum Visions is the reason we get to keep this hand, chat. I think it's much better. I agree. I think it's more powerful. Lower variance, I think is the best way to describe it. It's more consistent. Am I in for both of these? Do I want to hit my first 4 land drops? I kind of think I might, huh? I think I'm in for these. Especially like painless land drops seem pretty appealing. Yeah, I agree. We want to snap K command, so we potentially want 5 lands. Depending on the texture of their hand, we might snap Inquisition too, but we'll see. Yeah, I think that's a good keep in the dark. Not a bad Serum Visions for keeping the 1-lander, huh? Hopefully the first Inquisition clears the way for Skelemental to connect on 3. Wow, actually kind of interesting to see them take Snap there. Yes, they're not worried about getting Lightning done on 3. That explains not being worried about the Lightning. I'm gonna take their Bolt and try and like get set up to push the Skelemental through. I can always like pivot and take Tracker with the next Inquisition, but like I can't take the Bloodbraid Elf with this Inquisition anyways, Burgle. So I feel like I'm supposed to like try and make my Skelemental hit. Yeah, I'm gonna take the push, and I'm gonna hope to hit them with the Skelemental. And like, if they like play the Tracker this turn, we just like K command a 2-for-1 them. Like there's a chance the Bloodbraid Elf doesn't accomplish much. Man, auto tapper on Magic Online win. Did you do it? Did you do me dirty? You did me dirty. Rude. At least I get a land drop, I guess. So the quick tapper on Magic Online automatically picks the first color on the land that you're using it. So it doesn't make you click twice, but it's not like an auto tapper like we have on Magic Arena. All right, and just like that, we've been buried deep in the ground. Feels dead, man. This is just completely unfair. This card probably costs more than our entire deck. Stupid pay-to-win mobile games. Thanks for the 3/4 year, Sport Ozzy Pants. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Can you all believe that the same company that brought us $100 Renin 6s is making historic cost double wild cards? Because frankly, I am shocked that the same company that brought us $100 Renin 6s wants to charge double wild cards for just regardless of like where you fall on the issue. I just can't believe people are surprised. I just like this is just like they're acting like this is new. And it's just like this is just par for the course. Like WotC invented loot boxes 26 years ago. You want to talk about loot boxes and product distribution? What am I supposed to do here? No, I mean, so it's easy to scapegoat MTG Finance and I think a lot of people are stupid and scapegoat MTG Finance. Wizards of the Coast has it completely within their power to make Magic cards cost whatever they want them to cost. They can print whatever they want in whatever volume they want at whatever rarity they want. If Wizards wanted modern decks to cost as much or less than standard decks, they could do that, but they don't want that, so they don't do that because it's not good for their business model to do that. Ah, yes, the old make my land drop and then cast Tireless Tracker. A tried and true strategy, really. Yes, yeah, that's very true, Burgle. Seasoned Pyromancer has felt, and honestly, the blue splash in a lot of ways makes the Seasoned Pyromancer worse, right? Because the cantrips kind of tie up our mana while filling up our hand, and Snapcaster Mage fills up our hand. It feels like the Seasoned Pyromancer kind of runs counter to like what the rest of the deck is doing. Or like the blue cards run counter to what the Seasoned Pyromancer wants to be doing, I should say. Yeah, the fact that they drew, so like the way I opened with my discard spells this game, I was kind of gambling that they weren't going to draw a third removal spell on 3, and they had 1 card to draw it, and of course they drew it, so we got pretty supremely punished. Because like if this Skelemental had connected and they would have been down 2 cards, like this game is like night and day different, but they hit the trophy, so then we were really far behind. Yeah, I agree. We're not in just dead yet territory, but like again, like this Skelemental's like kind of awkward because I'm in a position now where I kind of need to be playing defense. They have a key command of their own. Hey, look at that. I didn't want that Skelemental anyways. Neener, neener. Oh god, do they have a second one? Just Liliana, sure. Edict me, puppy. Edict me. Each player discards. That's incredibly rude. I would like to block. It's interesting because I have zero clue what these modern decks do or what cards they have in them. There's interesting stuff like Snapcaster Mage. I've had my study sessions with Jeff for Modern. It's the only reason I know. Yeah, some cards we play more than others. Snapplecaster's a good boy. It's a big Tarmogoyf. It's a real big Tarmogoyf. So Seasoned Pyromancer is an activated ability from my graveyard too, which lets me pay 5 and exile it to grab a couple of friendos. Check out some of my options here. Yikes. Seem to have missed enough about double wildcards for Historic, but that seems ridiculous. So you should go back and watch some of my feedback, but I really don't think it's ridiculous. I think expecting the card... If you're someone who's okay. Rephrase coherent thoughts. There are a lot of people in Magic who only play formats like Modern. And those people buy one Modern deck and then never buy any more Magic cards ever again. The only Magic cards they buy are very small minor upgrades that come out occasionally, which does require them to spend a small amount of more money. But now, take that and apply it to context in Magic Arena. You buy one Historic deck, and you never change, and you actually never put more money in, because you're going to have in-game currency from just playing to where whatever minor upgrades you get, you're going to have for free, because they're just miscellaneous small amounts of cards here and there. So, from the perspective of that, now imagine Historic's this format where, just like Modern, people buy decks and never change. Now imagine those decks that they're buying where you buy them and they never change. They cost the same as Standard decks, and Historic has the same amount of support as Standard. So, Arena has a bunch of people who put in a little bit of money and then continue playing for forever and never put any more in and are still able to play competitively for forever. That's not a sustainable model for Wizards of the Coast. If you get a new player into the game and you go, okay, friendo, Magic's great. And here, you're going to play Constructed because Constructed Magic is awesome. But here's the thing. When you play Constructed Magic, you can either buy cards that you're not going to be able to play that deck in 9 months when it rotates, or you could pay the same amount of money and buy a deck that's never going to rotate and you'll get to enjoy it forever if you like it. Reasonable people are never going to choose the first option. They're just not. And again, like, at the end of the day, would I like it if Historic cost the same as Standard? Heck yeah, I would. But all the people that are pretending that, like, there's no reason for it to cost more, those people are just, like, lying to themselves to justify what they want to happen, to say that it's the only option to happen. Because there's a very clear-cut reason for the format where you get to play things forever is going to cost more, because when people get into that format, they're likely to stop putting money in. Yeah, I mean, like, if PZ dies, they're probably tapping out, and then I can hit them with Skelemental. Yeah, and there's definitely people that buy lots of different things. I'm not saying that the people I'm describing who buy one deck and sit on it are the only type of player, but I'm saying there's a significant number of players that do that. You want an interesting metric? I'm a really data-driven person. Here's a really interesting metric. Let's go here, metagame. Is this on Magic Online prices? Okay, so here's the cost of standard decks on Magic Online. 200 tickets, 200 tickets, 73 tickets, 200 tickets. Now what do modern decks cost? Here, Burn's cheap. This is why Burn's popular. 800 tickets, 400 tickets, 500 tickets, 500 tickets. A lot of the modern decks on Magic Online cost 1.5 to 2 times as much as the most expensive standard decks on Magic Online. There were two qualifier events this past weekend. The modern tournament had 2.5 times as many people as the standard tournament. So modern cost 2.5 times more to play than standard, or 1.5 times to 2 times as much as standard, and it had 2.5 times the number of players. So like the people that are like Wizards is making these decisions just because they're greedy and not because they have data, like this is very clearly a data-driven decision. Okay, Outbreak, you wanna tell me my data's bad? Pew pew. All right, here's another metric. SCG Tour, paper tournaments. Paper modern decks cost 2 to 3 times as much as paper standard decks. At the SCG Tour weekend, on average, SCG Modern Classics, the same day as SCG Standard Classics, average 89 more entrants than the Standard Classics the same day, and that's paper. Don't you sit here and try and justify your bias and tell me that my data's bad, because there's no data point for you. Those are also wildly more popular while being wildly more expensive. This is how it's always worked, and people are just like, surprise, Pikachu face! The company that brought you more expensive moderns now bringing you more expensive historic. People always say that though, Squishy. People are always like standard sucks. You want a comparison? Standard Classics, while Hagak was flipping legal, had less players than the modern classics. While Hagak was legal, modern had better attendance numbers than standard events at the same time. That is how dedicated the modern players are. All right, what am I doing here? I think I'm just waiting a turn. Key command's like okay here. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. I guess I should have just picked the Pyromancer back up and played it right away. I had to like shock them and make them discard a card. But they have a Bloodbraid Elf as their last card now, which sucks. You gotta play Engineer. Thanks for the support, Scissor. Glad to have you here learning. You wanna talk about pricing? What's the average cost of the opponent's deck we're playing against right now? What's that one? Metagame, modern. 800 tickets, that's $800. Or $1,700 in paper. 1,700 USD. Oh, it's funny. It's funny because it's sad. All right. That takes the Bloodbraid. They have this giant Scavenging Ooze though. Yeah, Lily and Goyf are much cheaper than they were 2 years ago. That's very true. Their price memory is slowly adjusting. Alright, we are dead in not too many turns of the Scavenging Ooze. It's a little sad. It's Tarmagoofy. I have one copy of Damnation in my deck that kind of pulls us back in this. I do not foresee Liliana and Goyf going back up in this new format. That's not... So, Scrafted, what you're doing there is you're projecting your desires onto Modern. Modern is not a new fair format. The messed up good decks at the top of the format have changed, but at a fundamental level, Modern is still the format that is about brutal efficiency that it was before Faithless Looting was banned. Which brutal efficient decks are on top? But the format at its core is not functionally different. Morning Troll. I mean, Deathrite Shaman in a format without fetches is just unplayable. That's the TLDR. What if there is Wasteland instead of fetches? Well, Wasteland is a miserable Magic the Gathering card that will never be printed ever again. Never Wasteland, please. You bought Voice of Resurgence. Well, that was a terrible investment. Speaking as someone who's like peak pro Voice of Resurgence, that card was a bad investment. I think I'm bottoming the Pyromancer here. Yeah, that's actually true. Yesterday's, if you're someone that needs a reminder as to why Wasteland and Port should never exist, watch yesterday's league. They're not unplayable punch-worthy, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Do-do-do. How crazy is it to wonder if the newest Dark format could have cards that are on the list of cards that are not to be reprinted? Nah, I think that's unlikely. I think that's pretty unlikely. Ah, yes. Fetch shock, play terrible cantrip, opponent leads on Goblin Guide. Are we dead? I feel like we're dead. Can we ever beat the opponent's deck in a million years? I feel like we can't. At least it'll be quick. What happened to Voice of Resurgence is that it's a slow, dirtily fair card in a format that is incredibly fast and brutal. Yeah, the easiest way to tell that people on Reddit are super silly is there were people on there that were upset that they're going to print new cards into the format, and it's like the fact they're printing new cards in the format is flippin' awesome. It's great. Alright, so I'm gonna do this. I think I'm ditching these two. Because I want tokens. You like K-Command, shock, discard when they're stuck on one land? You think I can afford to take more points of damage while I'm at 7? Because I fundamentally disagree with your assessment there. I do not think I can afford to take more damage while stuck on the health total I'm currently on. What would be my top 3 decks to play in Legacy for Syracuse? Chalice of the Void. If I wanted to win, I'd probably find the best Blood Moon Chalice deck. Just because beating people who want to play Feelspark Magic with decks like that is excellent. So, we're totally not using this fetch land because we don't want to go to 3. The problem is, while we've kind of stabilized, our deck doesn't gain any life. Hey, Python, thanks for the 26 months of support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, Dr. Dre says, nothing, you idiots. Dr. Dre's dead. He's locked in my basement. Look at him walking around. So they have Dubs, Skewer the Critics in their hand, which are getting discarded. Bye, Felicia. Yeah, this is the part where they draw Boros Charm and we die. These random M&M hauntings, I wonder what triggers them. Listening to too much growing up. Cycle the Sun-Baked Canyon. Papi! Papi! I can kill them next turn, right? We pick back up the old ball lightning. The old ball and chain. Burn's been running 5 to 6 canopy lands. Oh, baby, baby. Please don't Boros Charm me, baby. Do, 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 do. Making them discards. That way they can't bolt my bolt my thing in response. Are they still dead? Am I 1 point short of lethal now? I am 1 point short of lethal. That's such an incredible tilt. No, I do have 11. You're right. This is 2 power. Sweet. Now listen, chat. I have a degree in counting. We'll get there eventually. It's my favorite Stoneforge Mystic deck right now. Probably Vanafear Blade. All right. It's a good thing we won game 1 because this matchup seems real tough. Yeah, maybe these surgicals should be collective brutalities in a post GAC world. It's a post GAC world, and we're all living in it. I did not, Phaser. There's just not enough hours in there. There's a reason I don't write every week anymore. If I do that, it's not going to be till closer to the cutoff. Yeah, we played Bob's Devoted Blade list on stream to an 0-3, I believe. I'm really just not a fan of the Devoted Druid decks in general. I know Bob's had a lot of success with it, but I'm just not a fan of the archetype. Always feels underwhelming when I play it. I assume this is an Eidolon. Core Firewalker. It's an interesting one to bring in against me. I guess we technically raced them last game, huh? Guess that's technically what happened. What do they keep? They keep like a medium hand because they had a Core Firewalker? Seems loose. Yeah, I think Stoneforge seems fine in the creature control decks. Yep. 420 Blaze it, chat. Going to 11 here. They're down to... We're going to 11, but they're down to 2 cards, which is, like, pretty decent for us. We get to go Unearth, our friendo here, and then bolt this and play a tap land. Still missing second red, though, notably. The qualification emails take a little while to go out. Usually you'll get your token in client before you get the qualification email. I would wager money sending out the qualification email is not an automated process. If I was a gambling man. These darn critics, chat, let me tell you. I tell you what. Yikes, that's a double red card. It's a real shame we don't have... If we had double red, we'd probably win this game. If we'd have Skelementaled there and taken both their cards, they would have died there. You say Unearth has gotten better with looting going away. Can you articulate as to why you think that is? Scale of 1 to dead, where are we at here? Push old Goblin Guide off a cliff. Using push here as opposed to bolt because bolt can be used to be sent upstairs to finish the game off later. Finish them off later. Alone, bro. Alone, Ted. Hey, Kenjo. Thanks for the 9 months of support. I appreciate it. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I probably don't need to cast another spell this game, huh? So let's just, like, be aggressive. Be aggressive. Stop saying Modern is slower. Stop saying Modern is slower. Stop saying Modern is slower. It's not. Hagak was not the entirety of the format. I get it that Hagak effectively ended the game on turn 2 a lot of the time, turn 3, but it was at the tippy top a quarter of the format. Modern is still an incredibly brutal and fast format. That has not changed. There were 3 burn decks in the top 8 of the Open. Hey, Wubwin, thanks for the year and a half. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Burn, Robot, Infect, Tron, Primeval Titans. Like, Tron effectively ends the game on turn 3 to 4 a lot of the time. People are just frequently too silly to realize that they can't win anymore, so they keep playing Magic. So we're dead to another 3 damage spell here. God, that's such a tilt. That's such a tilt. Just 0 cards in hand, 3 lands in play. Killed us exactly dead while dead on board. My favorite thing is people telling me I'm wrong and then not telling me why. Standard's always been cheaper than Modern on Magic Online. Get out of here. Yeah, Reaper. So put the 3rd disfigure in the sideboard and then make both over the 2nd cast down and make both the main deck disfigures cast downs. Oh, we're gonna bleed for our mana, huh? I think I just play a turn behind with this hand. No creature on 1 is great for us. Huh? Huh? All right. Where are my Death Shadows? Asking the real questions. Alright, blightning you. It's unfortunate the rest of our hand is bad. We need another threat here. Otherwise, they're just going to redraw while we fumble around. That's a very good draw. I don't have a basic island in my deck, so I'm going to fetch a swamp here, so that way I can hold up Spell Pierce / Fatal Push. Deflecting Palm, yep. Alright, Snapcaster Mage. And this is such a great example of the power of these lands, right? Like, this is normally the point in the game where you're just, like, hoping the burn deck bricks off for a couple of draws, and now they just have, like, you know, 5 out of 60. They have, like, almost 1 in 10 of their Oh, a quarter of their previously dead draws are no longer dead draws, they're redraws. It's just incredibly difficult for most fair decks to beat. I think I'm ditching the Fatal Push here. Spell Pierce is pretty live at this point. That's true. Spell Pierce is better in the matchup now because of that. Mana Leak as well. This is an apt assessment of what's happened. So, Unearth is lethal next turn with the Skelemental. If I'm assuming I'm not dead here, that is. I assume we're dead because that's how this works. Yep. And one of the things we talked about is, like, you know, the burn deck's basically unbeatable when they only draw 2 to 3 lands in a game. And the Fiery Isle and the other red-white source, like, that basically, it guarantees that they draw only 2 to 3 lands a game almost all of the time. Really, I used to really like burn as like a deck in the format because it felt very fair and honest, and it's really a huge feel bad to play against it now. Because it feels like you never, like, then in, like, the games that you were 50+% to win because you just needed 1 brick out of them, you just lose almost all of the time now because they just have so many fewer bricks in their deck. Like, that was running games in a row, right? Where we're just like, we just need one moment to breathe here, and they die on our untap. You just don't get it. I'm gonna be a little greedy and lead on Inquisition here. Let's see what we're playing against. Neoform with Glittering Wish. What needs to be updated in the Sultai control list on the website? Can you tell me something that's wrong with it before you tell me it needs to be changed? Please and thank you. Yeah, during Magic Online, I'm doing aggressive timeouts again. Just because Magic Online seems to bring out the stupid in people. And dealing with Magic Online and, like, Modern in general doesn't leave me extra room to feel kind and put up with extra crap. Yeah, I'm in for a land rate. Ooh, yeah we are. Yeah we are. Actually, do I want to Skelemental them? Or do I want to snap snap Thoughtseize? I think it's probably right to snap Thoughtseize here, actually. Their deck cares more about specific cards than quantity, I think. My stupid never goes away. It's a permanent fixture of my personality. God bless. Folks who have been around, if you want to make card suggestions, you should know the drill. This isn't a meeting at corporate America. Don't tell me words about efficiency or adding things more tempo or well-positioned in a metagame. Be constructive and specific. Say, Jeff, this suggestion solves this problem I've experienced. This is why I think it solves that problem. This is what I'd cut to add that card. You know, you don't get a promotion here for your development being more agile. Go the heck, exactly. Go the whole 9 yards. I don't know. Did I update the Vanifer page on my website? I do like 800 things a day. Probably. Sounds like something I did. Yeah, there's Stoneforge Mystics in the Vanifer page on my website. Thanks for the 16 months, Ross. I appreciate it. Alright, so I'd like to pick you up. I would like to shock you. I would like to Fatal Push this and then kill you next turn. So you want us to develop in a waterfall? Yeah, exactly. Alright, so Spell Pierce is fine here. Rise Fall is fine here. Angrath, Rampage, and Kolaghan's command are pretty bad. We'd rather have more interaction. I think this is fine. I guess Surgical is theoretically some amount of interaction here, and Fatal Push doesn't really accomplish much. Can we put Splinter Twin on Stoneforge Mystic? I feel like it's sad that that's never been something we've been able to do. Bant Snowblade is not in the queue. Splinter Forge Mystic. Yeah, exactly. It's got to get the value. I should have fetched a red source there, probably. All right, do I hymn them or do I hold up Spell Pierce? I think I'd rather hold up Spell Pierce this turn. Although with the Surgical, hymning them becomes more appealing. Just looking for 1 mana discard spells and Spell Pierces. Allow me to sing you the song of my people. We just got Sibian Spirit Guided out of our Spell Pierce. Yay! Oh, this game. Peak modern. That's like peak modern. All right, Snap Pierce or Snap Do I snap Pierce or do I snap him? If they have a land, they get around snap Pierce, so I think I snap him them. I think it's bad, Neg. I think you want all of your Cavaliers because your Cavaliers exile themselves, and the fact that your Cavaliers exile themselves makes I'm gonna surgical their summoners packs here. So if they draw a green card, they get to combo us. So they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So they have 19 out of 47, so they're a little over 50% to combo us next turn. Am I dead yet? We are in fact dead. Modern slowing down. Yep. I mean, to be fair, this is a turn 5 kill, right? This is incredibly fair and reasonable. Oh, did they brick? They might have bricked. I think we're dead to the 8/8 in the air. But I believe they bricked on comboing. JK, LOL. Yeah, we can't deal with the 8/8. In the end, it doesn't even matter anymore. Let's stand up for a bit, shall we? So, here's the thing though, AGH. Even if we have some random collective brutalities in there, it probably doesn't change the outcome of those games. So what you were saying wasn't constructive or helpful. What you did was being incredibly results based, and what I was talking about was something generically true about burn as an archetype. So like saying, but Jeff, this thing about our deck that we're playing right now is just incredibly irrelevant, because I wasn't talking specifically about our deck. I was talking generically about the power level increase that Burn had experienced from being able to have 25% less dead draws in their deck. Yeah, they put Gristlebrand into play, and then they used the card Nourishing Shoal and expensive green creatures to draw the entirety of their deck. And once they draw the entirety of their deck, they are able to pitch some Simian Spirit Guides, cast Manamorphose, and cast a Laboratory Maniac. Fewer? There's fewer people in chat now? Is that what you said, Panza? I missed it. You might have stuttered. Did you know the way that language works? Words take the meaning based on the way society tends to use them. So if most people use the word in the way I'm using it, that's the way that's accepted that it's used. That's why there's a definition in the dictionary of literally that means figuratively. I got you, troll. I see you, troll. I understand what you're doing. Well. Alright, I'm gonna bolt them to prevent them from drawing extra cards here, hopefully, but that's all I can really do here. Yeah, we played the opponent's deck once. Actually, someone re-added the opponent's archetype to the deck queue yesterday. So we'll be getting back around to it again at some point. But again, like, even if they don't full combo me here, I don't think I can beat this 8-8, right? Is like what it comes down to. Like, how do I beat an 8-8 lifelinker? I don't have a way to kill it. Overall, this archetype felt pretty clunky to me. I felt like the red, what we were doing that was good was the red-black core, and splashing in these blue cards felt pretty unnecessary overall. I feel like if I were to try and play something close to this again, I'd probably want to work on just straight red-black shells. So, yeah. Kind of mediocre mid-range deck in Modern, post-medium results. News at 11. Speaking of mediocre mid-range decks in Modern, step up to my next deck, chat. Boy, do I have the mediocre mid-range on tap for you all. Come in, enjoy. Step into my office, chat. Step into my mediocre mid-range office. I know what gets you going, Twitch chat. I know what you like.